Following Donald Trump's recent re-election, all eyes are on how his next term might shape the future of U.S. policies at home and abroad. Among the bold promises he's made is a hefty 10 to 20% tariff on all U.S. imports, a move that's caused quite a stir. Yet it's his stance on China that has grabbed the most attention, hinting at an even harsher economic approach with proposed tariffs on Chinese goods possibly reaching an eye-popping 50 to 100%. But as bold as these claims are, there's a looming question. Could these tariffs backfire on the U.S. economy more than they hurt China? To unpack this, let's first revisit Trump's first term in office. Between 2017 and 2021, he set the stage for this ongoing economic rivalry with China, initiating tariffs and strict trade measures aimed at curtailing China's growing influence in global markets. His administration took a tough stance, tackling what it saw as unfair trade practices and significant trade imbalances, particularly targeting Chinese industries with tariffs. One of the earliest moves came in March 2018, when the administration imposed a 25% tariff on steel and a 10% tariff on aluminum imports, justifying the action with national security concerns. While multiple countries were affected, China bore the brunt, facing additional tariffs on a wide range of products in an escalating trade dispute. By the end of 2018, the U.S. had levied tariffs on $360 billion worth of Chinese imports. But with the new term's even higher tariffs on the horizon, there's mounting concern that these measures may disrupt U.S. industries and ripple through key sectors of the economy. In fact, the tariffs could create opportunities for China to pivot to other markets, potentially strengthening its position globally. So, as we look at the impact of Trump's proposed policies, we'll explore why these tariffs might end up being more costly for American consumers and industries than for China. Could the very policies meant to protect American interests end up reshaping global trade in China's favor? The tariffs introduced during the Trump administration aimed to cover a broad array of imports, from electronics to everyday consumer products, in hopes of rebalancing trade with China and boosting domestic industries. Yet, despite these bold actions, the overall U.S. trade deficit didn't decrease as intended. In fact, it climbed to $679 billion by 2020, the highest it had been since 2008. Although the trade gap with China specifically shrank from $419 billion in 2018 to $311 billion in 2020, the tariffs did little to curb the overall deficit. These trade policies had significant economic side effects. American businesses that relied on imports now faced increased costs, which they largely passed on to consumers. This cost burden didn't go unnoticed. A study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that the trade war was costly for the U.S. labor market, resulting in the loss of around 245,000 jobs. Beyond tariffs, the Trump administration targeted Chinese tech firms like Huawei and ZTE, placing restrictions on these companies over national security concerns. U.S. federal agencies were barred from using equipment from these firms, and American companies were restricted in doing business with them, a move that had significant implications for both economies. Meanwhile, China's path to becoming an economic heavyweight was a long, calculated journey. Over the past few decades, China has been reshaping its economy through strategic reforms and deeper international integration. This transformation began in 1978, under Deng Xiaoping's leadership, when China shifted from a centrally planned system to a market-driven approach. This period of reform included dismantling agricultural collectives, setting up special economic zones to attract foreign investment, and giving regional governments more economic autonomy. The result? An astounding annual GDP growth rate averaging 9.4% from 1978 to 2012, lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty and greatly improving the quality of life across the nation. In 2001, China's entry into the World Trade Organization, WTO, marked another pivotal moment, signaling its commitment to global trade standards. This accession opened up even more doors for China, enabling it to cement its position as a key player in the global economy. The question now is, as China continues to strengthen its economic foundation, will U.S. efforts to counterbalance it through tariffs and tech restrictions have a lasting impact, or has China's resilience set it on an irreversible path toward global economic leadership? A game-changing moment in China's rise as an economic powerhouse came with its entry into the World Trade Organization, WTO, on December 11, 2001. This move integrated China into the global trade network, igniting a rapid expansion in exports and drawing in waves of foreign direct investment. In the years that followed, from 2001 to 2010, China's export growth averaged an impressive 20% annually, propelling it to the status of the world's top exporter by 2009. Foreign investment also soared, with inflows reaching $139 billion by 2018, establishing China as the second-largest destination for FDI worldwide, just after the United States. Fast forward to 2015, and China's ambitions to lead in high-tech industries took center stage with the launch of the Made in China 2025 initiative. This bold plan aims to shift China from its long-standing role as a producer of low-cost goods to a leader in cutting-edge technology sectors. The initiative focuses on developing core industries like advanced IT, robotics, aerospace, and new energy vehicles, setting a goal to source 70% of key components domestically by 2025. This vision seeks to reduce dependency on foreign technology and solidify China's competitive edge globally. Just a quick break here. If you're finding this information helpful, please consider liking this video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us reach more people. Thanks for tuning in. Now back to the story. China's global strategy expanded even further with the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, unveiled in 2013. Spanning continents, this ambitious project aims to build infrastructure and promote investments across Asia, Europe, and Africa. By 2024, China had formed cooperative agreements with over 140 countries, channeling billions into projects designed to streamline trade routes and foster regional economic integration. The BRI has significantly boosted China's economic influence and opened up fresh markets for Chinese businesses. In the realm of technology and innovation, China has made remarkable progress, establishing itself as a leader in areas like 5G, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy. With R&D expenditures rising from just 0.7% of GDP in 1991 to 2.4% by 2020, the Chinese government's emphasis on innovation is clear. Despite facing international restrictions and trade barriers, China has pushed forward in technology, particularly in fields like semiconductor manufacturing and electric vehicles, EVs. For instance, in 2023, Huawei released the Mate 60 smartphone, featuring the advanced Kirin 9000 chip, produced by Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation using a 7-nanometer process. This was a notable leap for China's semiconductor industry, showing it was capable of producing competitive chips despite facing tough export restrictions. Despite facing higher tariffs from the US and the European Union, Chinese electric vehicle (EV) companies have not only weathered the storm, but expanded their presence worldwide. BYD, one of China's largest EV manufacturers, has successfully broken into markets across Brazil, Mexico, Southeast Asia, Australia, and Europe. To establish a strong foothold in these regions, BYD has even acquired manufacturing plants, which helps it produce EVs locally and offer competitive prices. This strategy is reshaping the market landscape and putting pressure on established automakers in these regions. Despite external hurdles, China's EV industry demonstrates resilience and a carefully crafted approach to building technological and economic influence globally. Meanwhile, the economic rivalry between the US and China has heated up, defined by protective trade policies and fierce technological competition. Former President Donald Trump has long championed policies aimed at curbing imports, particularly from China. In November 2024, Trump proposed steep tariffs specifically targeting Chinese-made electric vehicles, aiming to defend US automakers from cheaper imports, a move that aligns with his broader vision of reviving domestic manufacturing. The Biden administration has similarly tightened the reins on Chinese EV imports. In May 2024, President Biden announced a substantial 100% tariff on EVs manufactured in China to shield American manufacturers from what he described as China's unfair trade practices. The move represents a rare bipartisan agreement on the need to address trade imbalances and protect U.S. industries. While U.S. policies work to contain China's ascent, China's technological advancements remain remarkable. The Made in China 2025 initiative has propelled the nation to global leadership in high-speed rail, solar power, EVs, and even emerging fields like graphene and unmanned aerial technology. Despite U.S. restrictions on technology exports, China has continued to push forward, especially in artificial intelligence, where it's developed platforms like Supermind, a system that analyzes global research trends to spot groundbreaking tech developments and key talent. This highlights China's commitment to maintaining a leading edge in critical technology sectors. With Trump's re-election, more tariffs may be on the horizon. His proposal includes a sweeping 10 to 20% tariff on all imports and a hefty 60% on goods from China. These plans aim to protect U.S. industries and reduce the trade deficit with China, though experts caution that these tariffs could lead to higher prices for American consumers and possibly spark retaliatory measures from China. Such moves could heighten the risk of another trade war, causing supply chain disruptions, industry impacts, and broader economic uncertainty. Reflecting on past trade wars, the US-China tariff conflict that began in 2018 imposed tariffs on approximately $350 billion worth of Chinese imports, while China responded with tariffs on about $100 billion of US goods. While bilateral trade volumes dropped, with US imports from China subject to a 25% duty falling 22% below pre-trade war levels, China's progress in technology, particularly in AI and 5G, has continued unabated. This progress suggests that trade war tactics have limited effect in stalling China's technological ambitions. As of late 2024, US-China relations remain tense, with each nation vying for economic and technological dominance. The US has countered with policies like the CHIPS and Science Act, aimed at boosting domestic semiconductor production to reduce reliance on Chinese technology. In turn, China has been working to strengthen ties with US allies and diversify its trade partnerships to mitigate the impact of American tariffs. This ongoing competition hints at prolonged tensions as both countries seek to cement their positions on the world stage. If you found this video informative and would love to watch more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.